I think it's really important that we take time to notice that that's really taking place. Those type of things is taking place where we are sending our children outside, allowing them to meet people that they like when they don't know nothing about the world. Mm-hmm. Little boy is 15, 16, 17 years old. This young lady is 14, 17, 18, 19 years old, and they already dating. They already going in the world making this snap decisions on somebody that they're going to be willing to be with, sleep with, and break up with at a moment's notice. All of them happen at a moment's notice. I just met her. I like her. She cool. Guess what? That's my girlfriend now. You just met her, bro. Yeah, I know. Ain't she bad though? Now, took out on a date. You done had sex. Oh shoot, that was decent. But guess what? I just saw her. Now I like her, and I want to meet that too. All right, it's over with between me and her. Or I'm gonna keep her around until she leaves, till she find out about what's going on and exit herself. And now we've created a broken heart over here, and these roles reverse. The young man can be the one who met her, fell in love with her. She met someone else and dipped out on her because she liked the other guy's shoes. You know what I'm saying? So all of these things are just bad practices that we're continuing on if we don't take a step back and look like, hold up, what's going on? Let me just take a step back, assess what we've been seeing for the last, 30 years? Because, I mean, as I grew up, I went to a high school where we had daycare for the high school kids because they was bringing their kids to school. The young girls who's 17, 16, they got kids who 2 and 3 years old or still in Pampers. And they bringing their kids to school so they can go here and continue to go to high school to get a high school diploma. Now, that was then. And that was a drastic situation that people who are my age were facing. I don't think it's the same thing today because there's a lot more disregard for life where people will abort quick, fast, and in a hurry. But the point of the matter is the practice is still there of identifying something I like visually, getting with it temporarily while being inexperienced with this. I'm inexperienced with looking at a female and trying to assess what's going to be good for me for the future. Same thing with young girls. Looking at a man or a male or a boy and being able to assess what's going to be good for me for the future. No, the assessment is what's going to be good right now. Mm-hmm.
There's
and then
also
you practice that over and over and over again. And if you get into a constant loop like that, how do you get out of it?
Well,
You keep on picking up. You had froze, so I just picked up where you left off at.
Oh no, you all good. Just add to what you're saying right now. I think they may not even see it as this cycle because they don't. It's almost like if you a lion and you born in a zoo and you've been in the zoo your entire life, you don't know what the jungle look like. You don't know what real nature outside of the zoo look like. So I'm saying for them coming from these broken households where it may just be a single mother or whatever the case may be. So they don't even understand that I'm in a loop and I'm in this vicious cycle that I'm just constant. Like they won't even see it that way. And I think even that part right there, man, that it's just the solution, man, for me to even think about it, man. It's like one of those, it's a hard pill to swallow because it's like, it's what I would always conclude to is like, man, they just gonna have to find out the hard way because I think it's gonna take in order for you to see something else, like using that analogy with the lion in the zoo, man, the lion is gonna have to see that, oh, dang. I thought this was life. I thought this was everything. He gonna have to see that. Oh wow, there's a whole jungle out here. There's a whole safari out here that I can actually rule and be really who I'm supposed to be. And the thing that will equal to that, when we talking about these young people and these relationships, is not just us, like as the parents now, just saying things to them and saying, "Hey, this is how it's supposed to be. This is how you're supposed to be in a relationship." It's all. Not only is it that, but I do believe that it's going to take for us to be the examples, and it's not always where we even saying anything, where they just see, that
Mm-hmm.
when dad say something, mom is right. Like they are like, even if we ain't saying it, they can see that mom and dad are one. They think just
Mm-hmm.
alike. Anything that dad say, mom is with it. She's supporting it. They are one, and I think that's vital, man. That you have to see basically the other side that hey, it's different, and it can be a lot different. But now I yield.
No, I 100% agree. I think that like you said, we need to be the example, the blueprint. Um and I think that we need to go back to investigative, I want to say investigative journalism, but it's not really journalism. We need to get back to meeting people's families,
Man,
cuz you're people, these young kids are jumping into relationships with people that are really experiencing generational trauma, and they
yeah,
don't know how to get out of that. They just perpetuating the same thing that happened for generations and generations and generations. My daddy was a player, my grandpa was a player, now I'm a player.
hmm,
So it's like, get back to meeting people's families. Get back to meeting their siblings, meeting their closest friends, people that they grew up with, and learning who that person is, because Uzziah always says it, that we come forth with a representative. And in the first few months, you have a representative. And my mom used to always tell me that if you wait, you talk to a guy and you getting to know him, after about 6 months, his true colors are really gonna start to come out. Sooner than
hmm.
that,
I'm about to say
actually.
I
More
think a
like,
lot sooner than 6 months.
yeah, depending, yeah,
Es- Especially if he a guy that's sexually driven and he that's
exactly.
what he want, and he gonna after a couple weeks that dude gonna be like,
Hmm.
man, she ain't giving it up, and
Or
you
if
will
he
start
got,
seeing,
yeah, or if he got an anger issue, he has a drinking problem, or he hiding children, that he has.
yeah,
Get to know the people that are closest to them. And if they're always coming back with that, oh, you don't want to talk to them, my mama don't know what she talking about. She always, why? Why is your mom always, portraying you as this horrible person if that's not really who you are? Because I would think that if anybody is going to know you, your mom would. Now, I'm not saying that it can't be some toxic mothers out there and toxic fathers and
hmm,
toxicity in the environment, but I think that we need to get back to getting to know the people around the person that we're talking to while we're engaging in getting to know someone.
yeah,
And I think that
not,
we got to stop having sex with people too, because y'all
yeah,
creating
man,
soul ties with people, and you're wondering why you can't let go,
yeah,
why you so stuck in this same cycle of, oh, every time he called me, I didn't moved on, we didn't broke up, but every time he called me, I just got to pick up the phone. There's a reason for that. That's because you bonded yourself to this man in a way that you shouldn't have
yeah,
this
and,
early on.
and I know this is a thing that I think a lot of people stay away from, and I won't get too graphic what how I'll describe it, but and man, even beyond like the soul ties and all of that, man, you can actually build a preference. Like young women will, it'll be a guy, and I gotta say it this way. I ain't gonna be too graphic, but he'll turn her out straight up, just straight
Hmm.
up and down, and he'll do all. It'll be stuff. It'll just blow her mind.
Hmm.
And just think when that relationship ends, you go into that relationship with all the memories, all them bodily, the muscle memory, all of that. That what this man done did to you, then twisted you up in a pretzel, and you loved it. You loved every minute of it. And then now you got this guy that he it's almost like he really won't even have a chance. He
Hmm.
will to a degree, but he gonna have to come with it. And it really shouldn't even be that way. It should be
Hmm.
no preference. It'd be like, well, hey man, won't you do this? And he not knowing that you asking him to do something that another guy done done.
Right.
And man, that's man, ah, to be a man and to have a woman do that, and you like you trying to, it's like you trying to compete with this guy that you don't even know, man. That's like demoralized. You'll be like, oh my goodness, like I give up. I don't want to compete with something like that, man. And it honestly, I don't think I say men, young men and women, they don't realize what they're doing. Like I agree with what you're saying, the soul ties, all of that. But even just on the physical level, uh, man, you're creating these preferences in your mind, and you're expecting it from the next partner,
Mm-hmm.
and they are not that person. But now, one thing I was about to say too, something else you said is, as far as um, like meeting their family, and this is like we talking solutions, and I think this is one of those things that it it may not happen now, but I think it should be where not even that we have to meet each other. I think, let me say it this way. I think this is the ideal. This will be the ideal scenario, is where we don't have to meet. We already know they parents
Mm-hmm.
because it's a whole community already, and we already been knowing since they were 2 and 3 that. And not to, I don't like to get too deep into like the zodiacs and all of that, but I do think there's truth to it. I think it's truth to the time of the year that you're born in. You just carry these certain attributes about yourself, because I'm like, man, it's just too on the money with certain things, like how they'll say a Taurus is this and this, and I'm like, I don't like to get too much into the zodiacs, but I do think it's a lot of truth in that, and it may be where we over here and we see such and such across the street, and we're like, oh, his son is 2, our daughter is 3, and man, and just knowing like, oh, she was born then, and man, they are highly compatible based off of that. I think all of that would be a solution, and it would be a help, and it would be, man, we've been knowing your parents for over 10 years now. Like once
Mm-hmm.
y'all finally, and we already knew y'all was gonna be a match because we knew his birthday, we knew and y'all about the same age. I think that right there is like the ideal, like the thing
Mm-hmm.
to shoot for, like the goal to reach is, man, we should already be a community where we
Mm-hmm.
knowing who's who.
Exactly.
But
That way you can, I don't want to say, I don't want, I'm trying to pick the right word, but for lack of a better word, I'm going to use the word tailor, where you can tailor, your personality to that other person.
yeah,
If you know them and you know their family, you know their parents' dynamic, where, the father is the head of the household and the wife is there, to support the dreams of the entire family, with the husband being at the head. You already know that they're going to be teaching their children, their sons, the same thing. And you're going
yeah,
to be teaching your daughter how to submit righteously. That way, they're already well equipped with that thought process. And it's not something that they have to go back and relearn
mhm,
after they've already experienced 15 other people that didn't require these things from them.
yeah.
So I completely 100% agree. Get back to a community. I'm almost willing to say, let's get some arranged marriages going on.
Hey, that's really what it come down to. That's really what it come down to. And I think, especially this newer generation, everything is based off feeling. Like, how does
Hmm.
it make me feel? And man, yeah, you entitled to your feelings, but your feelings do not make you right. They just don't, man, because you can be feeling a certain kind of way about something, but the facts are the facts. Your feelings ain't gonna make you right in it just because you feel
Hmm.
so strongly about it. And uh, I think that just that thought is, somebody gonna pick my husband for me, or somebody gonna pick my wife for me. Man, it is really, it's like, man, it's for your best interest, and it
Hmm.
really ain't about how you feel about this. You'll understand once you get into it and you see why we doing this. But yeah, I agree, man.
And then I think if you're doing it right, I mean, what is the point of having children if you're not instilling the best in them possible?
Yeah,
So if I'm essentially creating my children's personality for them. I'm
yeah,
giving them a guideline of what they can and cannot do. And from that guideline, they're going with it. They have their own individual personalities, but I've created the blueprint for you.
yeah,
So, based off of this blueprint that I'm handing to you, this is what you have to choose from. And if you are gonna go in line with the blueprint, why would you have an issue with it? If my parents arranged married me I probably would. I probably would have been happy with it because who better knows me or who is
Come on.
going to choose better for me than my parents? They want the absolute best for their child.
Yeah.
So
But
why would
let me my bad. You
no, I'm done. Go ahead.
this is when I still was living in Atlanta, and I was driving Lyft, and it was a group that I picked up, and they were Indian.
Hmm.
And man, I'm driving, and we got like a little 30 minute drive, and I'm just listening to them talk, and they're all about my age, about I think around the time it was like I'm like 34, so they all was
Hmm.
maybe around that age, maybe a little bit younger, maybe like 5 or 6 years younger. But just to hear them talk and to hear that perspective from their culture, one of the dudes, right? So I think like I think it was four of them. I think like two or three of them was married, and they're talking to he's the youngest one. And when I heard him say it, I said, "Man, damn! Like that's something I never heard of." So the dudes, they all told him the same thing. They was like, "Yo, bro, why not just let your mom and dad pick your wife, man?" Like, and it was like they picked mine. Then the other one, like, yeah, mine pick mine. Like, just let them pick your wife, man. Well, I don't understand why you trying to do this, other. And I was like, I really was amazed. And just to see that is somebody's regular culture. That's just what
Hmm.
happens in their culture. And just knowing us, how black folks are, that's unheard of.
Yep.
Man, people will be like, a team will be ready to argue with their parents. Like, you can't pick who I love and who I. It's just like, man, it, it's for the better. And
Hmm.
like you said, we know y'all. We've been knowing y'all since y'all was little babies. We know exactly who you are.
Hmm.
Yeah, and not only that, man, we got a lot more life experience than you. We able to see certain things that you just not gonna
Hmm.
be able to see right now because you ain't seen it. So
And
I
I
think
mean, hey, I think if we took a page from their book, because I think if you talk to the people that are products of arranged marriages, they're doing pretty good. I can't speak
yeah,
for everybody, but I know a few people that are products of arranged marriages where, their parents, I can speak from the woman's perspective, where their parents basically gave them options.
yeah,
Here are the options that you have. There are three men, or however many men that you can choose from. Here are his hobbies. It's like a resume almost, where he, presents a resume to the parents, and the parents present that resume to the daughter, and she basically chooses. It's not like I'm saying, oh, this is the only one option that you have, and if you don't marry this person, you're just not gonna get married. No, we'll create a little lineup for you.
yeah,
A few options for you to pick, and you pick from those options because we've already done the vetting for you. Now, I'm not saying that you don't need to vet and that you don't need to prove this person, because you absolutely 100% do,
yeah,
but we've done a lot of the heavy lifting for you.
yeah,
Because again, at the end of the day, all we want is what's best for you. And I think that people just need to stop being so fragile and saying, oh, well, it wasn't love. I don't love that person. And you can grow to love somebody. I've seen
yeah.
several documentaries and several conversations where people, especially like if you look at royal families where they are arranged married, um, they say in the beginning, I didn't love that person. But after a
But when
few
you
years, huh?
Um, not just to add to that, but when you think about it, what relationship did you go into automatically loving somebody?
Aside from your
None.
parents loving you
Yeah,
automatically
none.
when you're born, that's
But
it.
see, I think
That's
women
it.
get that mixed up. They get lust mixed up with love, and they
Hmm.
fall in lust with somebody and then grow to love them. But they overlook or they jump over the thought process of that. That yeah, you grow to love someone, but you fall in lust with them first. And if that perspective can open the eyes of people, and we can all can see that hey, maybe this is not love, this is just lust, and
Yeah,
I really desire this person in a specific manner, but I don't really endear them the way I should to make a long term relationship. So
yeah. No doubt. And man, what children are, these young adults would even have to understand. I think the best thing for them to understand is the reason why we're doing this, because this is one of the most important decisions that you're going to make in your life. This is not something that you just want to get into. And I know myself, I'm sure you probably can, you've experienced some relationships that I'm sure you probably be like, man, I would take that back. I would have never went into that. Yeah, straight up. And it's like, that's all we trying to get them to understand is, man, this is something that's important. And this is the reason why I think all these parameters have to be set. Yo, let us help you. This ain't a thing that you just need to go out there and do. You are not equipped to go choose. You're going to choose wrong. You don't have enough experience. Let us help you. We're not saying we're going to do everything. Like what the sister said, yeah, you got to do some vetting yourself too. Y'all gotta talk. Y'all gotta meet. See if it'll work out. But it has to be known that this is an important decision that you got to
I
make.
think the thing about it though,
I just want to say one thing real quick. I just got to get it off. I think that as parents, we have to create an environment where our children are comfortable and actually trust us.
Yeah.
When I was proving my husband, when we were proving one another, my mother and father were heavily involved in that thought process. Heavily involved. I trusted my parents' opinions because my parents did not present to me to be people that were untrustworthy. So I think that if while we're on that thought process of, talking the solution of having your parents assist you, we need to be trustworthy people so that our children have people to trust and depend on. That way they know my parents not gonna lie to me. They're not gonna give me the okey doke, just for the sake of getting married. That was it.
Yeah, no doubt.
Well, I forgot what I was but it's all
sorry.
Good. It's all good. Because I do believe that that's a notion that must be directed properly and appropriated. Is that take into account that's what it was, and I'm glad you put it out there. You set the stage. Women think that if their parents are involved, then they'll lose. What's the word that everybody like to throw around right now? Autonomy. They'll lose their autonomy. And when that's not the case. The case is not that you'll lose your autonomy. Quite honestly, you're going to gain. Because if you're able to prevent a mistake from happening in the future by doing something presently today that's taking the advice of someone who may have more experience than you, have been through more than you, and have a higher level of wisdom than you, will only help you to gain. But the thought process of that begins because they think that they can't trust the people that's going to be assisting them or aiding them or helping them or advising them. They can't trust them. They feel as though all they're going to do is try and take over the situation, when that may be the furthest thing from the truth, or it could be the truth. The parent has not shown themselves to be someone that is trustworthy in making decisions in a favorable nature for the children. That might be the case. So what you just said, I think was very important, or setting the table for what I wanted to say, which was that just as a woman, or even as a child or a young brother, having your parents to be involved with helping you. It don't have to be your parents, just some elder person. Could be your uncle, it could be your brother, it could be some elder man that you trust, that you have a good relationship and rapport with. And that isn't limited to men. Getting the advice of a wise woman is something that you should want to seek out. That way you're getting it from a panoramic view. It's all the way around. It's not just from one singular individual or one singular perspective. Is a well-rounded, holistic perspective. And those things, I think, will help. I mean, just imagine, Isaiah, you married. Had someone been able to help cultivate the way you would be thinking and the way you would be moving forward with your wife, it may have saved you some pitfalls, some headaches, and stubbing your toe, proverbially speaking, that is. Am I wrong or am I wrong?
You know it. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
No, you're absolutely right.
Oh, okay. I just want to know because people think that that's not going to be something that's going to be advantageous to them when it truly is. And if I wish that I would have known certain things about relationships, I got taught everything wrong. I got,
Yeah.
by my bigger brothers, by my big brother, I want to say brothers, but my big brother, he's taken me to his girl's house and they had little sisters. I was supposed to run interference. And at the time, I couldn't have been no more than 12, 9, but between 9 and 12. Now, what am I learning? He was in the room with the old girl doing what he was doing, and I was supposed to keep her little sister from knocking on the door. I'm not learning nothing. I'm doing things by trial and error and just having fun while I do it and building bad habits. You know what I'm saying? And this is what a lot of people, young people, are doing as they go about navigating the space of relationship. And just because I don't endorse dating does not mean that young women and young men shouldn't practice good, outstanding relationship practices that are safeguarded, of course. There should be someone there to be a fence or a wall or some kind of hedge of protection. There should be some kind of safeguard there, not just you go out there all willy-nilly and make it happen.
A chaperone.
Yeah.
I 100% believe that people need to be chaperoned, especially if you're engaging. If
they're gonna call you approved.
Call me approved. Call me approved.
Yeah, so
because what works. I'm not saying that it's going to. People will argue and say that it makes you want to do things more, and I'm not going to say that that's untrue. That when you are chaperoned, it will cause the thought process that I need to go and sneak and do something. But I just believe that if you're chaperoned, a lot of things can be stayed and avoided because you know that there are other eyes watching. And a lot of times we fall into that trap of, even if people are doing good, they're remaining abstinent or celibate, or whatever the case is, and they're choosing to abstain from physical interactions with this other significant person. I don't know. It's just, to me, it would just make it better if you would just wait.
Yeah. Man, I got something to throw out there, right? And I trust that I can say this to y'all. Just knowing the background, I can't say this to everybody, but I would say this, right? And I know people would take this the wrong way. So when you just look at the nature of the human body, a young woman, she gets her period around, or her cycle around what, about 12, 13 years of age.
Man,
And
that's
then she
ain't it? Is that right, Kyle?
that's about right, ain't it?
Nowadays, it's a
12.
little bit younger. They be starting at like 8, 9.
Oh wow, damn. Yeah, I'm just know because I grew up in the house with sisters, so I already knew like it was around 12, 13 years old when they would get their cycle. And just, as an adult, I understand now that, hey, that was a time when, hey, you can get pregnant now.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of people, this will be taboo. This will be like, oh, my brother is over there talking some other. But I'm saying, look at nature. Look at what God created. He created this young woman to be able to be childbearing. I ain't saying that, hey, get pregnant, run out of that. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying if we look at nature and begin to align ourselves with nature more than what we do now, would it be, I don't think it'd be far-fetched to say that it's normal for them to start having these feelings about the other sex at that age because of look at what nature is presenting. It's saying, hey, she is now able to have children. And so just in this society, it's like, man, we're not just gonna send our 12 and 13-year-old daughters or even our sons to just be going engaging in things. So I'm saying this to what you were saying, sis. It's like, man, we have to find something because it's like I say, people would take this the wrong way and run with it. Like, oh, he's saying 13-year-olds are supposed to be. That's not what I'm saying, man. Because that ain't how we were conditioned. We not able to think like that right now. That ain't the society that we live in. But I think it's that is a ploy by Satan himself to take that away, because now it's like, just think they got to spend like from the age of 12 to, shoot. Oh shoot. I ain't know what that was, man.
That was
so
when you
so
said that was a ploy by Satan. That was right on the money, man. That was you hit the
think about
target.
it. So they got to wait from 12 to, by the time they about what, 18, with all these feelings, all these natural feelings, and they just got to bottle it up, and we expecting them to just do that. And I'm like, nah, man. Like, at a minimum, man, we got to at least, like, I think what it said, like, man, got to be some chaperone. Yeah, we'll let you, but hey, I'm right there. Like, just the movies. Hey, I'm right in between with my
Mhm,
popcorn. What's up, y'all? It's a good movie, ain't it? But we have to have, we got to offer them some sort of like middle ground,
mhm,
so where they can. I hate to use the word explore, but so they can just. I guess it is the right word to explore the other sex, to start understanding the dynamic, man.
I
But no, I get.
100%. I agree. Go
If
ahead. Go
I
ahead.
may, Kaya, if I may, I think what you just said does have its place. I think that that type of thinking where, all right, look, a young man starts to go through his puberty around 15, 14, at the earliest probably 13, and a young lady started going through hers, I'm just being educated too, around between 9 and 12. If you're looking to have, say, that 9-year old, that 12-year old, you're looking to have them grow older and become together, then yeah, you should put them in rooms and allow them to explore. And I'm trying to use a different word than explore because it it gives a sentiment of an allowance for. And I don't want that sentiment to be lost or even rear his head in the conversation. So I'm trying to find a different word, but I would say more along the lines of investigate. Let them investigate what it would be like. Let's give them the breadcrumbs of, hey, you supposed to be this way when you around her. You should be this way when you around him. These are the proper guidelines that you all should be traversing as you grow older. And they start practicing that. Like if he understands and knows that when I'm around her, I'm a protector. When he come around her and you not around, he's already trained with the mindset of I'm protecting her. And if she come around him and she's already in the mind of I'm going to be a nurturer. When he run outside, play football, come back, he got scratches on him, she gonna come with the band-aids. Let me put that on you. I got you. And that's a good cultivation, or that's the proper exploration, I think, that you were speaking about. If I'm wrong, correct me, my brother.
Nah, that was it. That's why I was kind of reluctant to use that word explore myself, because I'm like, I wouldn't be like, hey, y'all go explore each other. You'd be like, hold up, let me use a different word.
They
Yeah,
gonna
no,
take
so
that
no,
and
I
run
agree.
with it.
Yeah, I agree. I'm yeah, like I say, man, I think we speaking the same thing. It's like we can't. I don't think it's healthy for them to just bottle all that in. And I'm speaking from a nature standpoint. Like, this is what God created. God created for it. It's just the age. We didn't mark it. We didn't. It wasn't on us. And I think it'll just be healthy for them to. I guess, man. Yeah, I don't know the right
I
word.
know
I
what
guess
you're trying to
experiment.
say. I know what you're
Yeah,
trying to say. It's like giving them the opportunity to be able to
yeah,
healthily express um the feelings that they may have for one another.